And to wrap it up, Senate President Dominick Ruggerio, I appreciate you're taking the time. You've got the Senate chamber right over his shoulder. He's going to be heading back for the business at hand. I wanted to get an update from you on a number of things that are important to you. And I want to start off with St. Joe's Pension Fund. You've got legislation in place. This is regarding the pension fund collapse. Looking at it last year, looking at it again this year. Tell us a little bit about your position.
Yes, obviously I'm a little concerned about what's transpired over the past year or two regarding the Fatima pension. Obviously it's in bankruptcy right now, and they've appointed a receiver to it, and they've also appointed a special attorney to handle that, Max Wistow. And I certainly want to know what happened to that money. I think that they should have had a responsibility to protect the pension money for those individuals who are currently retired and those individuals who are going to be retiring in the future. And right now that pension fund is in jeopardy. So I don't know what happened. I'm waiting to see what they come up with as far as some of the things that transpired regarding that particular situation. And that hasn't happened yet, but I'm hopeful that that will happen in the very near future, and we can enact the legislation to protect those people. That legislation that's pending, we did that for DEPCO, we did it for a number of other things, and it's something that will encourage a settlement when that comes about. So I'm hoping that that'll end up passing and protect those people and help those people as far as their pension is concerned.
Okay, I appreciate you bringing that to light here. We're going to probably talk with you more about that moving forward, but also want to talk with you about Paw Sox legislation. It's residing in the House right now. We're waiting to see what happens. What's your thoughts on the situation?
Well, as you know, the Senate conducted extensive hearings, over 30 hours of hearings throughout the state of Rhode Island. Everyone who wanted to have an opportunity would have had an opportunity to testify on that piece of legislation. And we're immensely proud of the product that ended up coming out from the hearings that transpired. So we hope that the House would consider that. I hate to see the Paw Sox leave this state. We'd end up losing over $2 million in revenue, but I think it would really hurt our economic development opportunities in our state competitiveness. So I want to see, I'm hoping that the House will consider that. I think we have a great proposal that the Senate forged, so I'm hopeful that the Speaker and the House of Representatives will consider that in the near future.
And what if the legislation is revised?
We'd certainly be willing to entertain that. We certainly don't have the market cornered on good ideas. I would hope that they would consider that, and certainly we would be amenable to any kind of changes that they would be considering.
Let's talk a little bit about the budget. I've basically asked everyone who's been here so far. We're looking at a potential $60 million shortfall this year, much more than that the year moving forward. How are we in this position year in, year out? And we continue to look at ways to address it. You saw the governor last year put forth the early buyouts. Are we going to run out of ideas to constrain these costs?
Well, I think we have to take a look at the structural situation with government. We always keep saying that the problem is structural, and we have to address that. We can't continue to keep scooping money from these accounts that we have. It's not going to continue. Something has to happen in the very near future, and that's how we have to address it, I believe.
What do you think of the governor's proposal for sports betting?
I think it's a good proposal. I have a piece of legislation that's pending now. I think it's something where we can generate some revenue immediately because we don't have to go to a referendum. And I think once the Supreme Court makes a ruling, whether they allow the states to entertain gaming, we're hopeful that we can get up and running, and that's an immediate economic transfusion to the state of Rhode Island, the way I look at it.
Final question for you while I have you here. The red flag legislation in response to the most recent school shooting, what are your thoughts?
I'm a supporter of the red flag legislation. I'm one of the co-sponsors. I think it's a good piece. We're going to take a look at it in committee. We're going to be hearing all the gun bills in the very near future, and then we'll make a decision at that time regarding red flag and everything else that will be pending.
And I did ask the Speaker, have you been hearing from gun rights activists that have concerns about this legislation, and what are they looking for?
I've been hearing from both groups. I've been hearing from those opposed to guns and the automatic weapons and the high-capacity magazines, but I've also been hearing from the members of the NRA, those individuals, law-abiding individuals who are a little concerned about taking guns away from them when they haven't done anything illegal. So we're going to look at both sides of the issue, and hopefully we can do something that's in the best interest of the citizens of Rhode Island.
Well, I know it's one of the priorities of both chambers moving forward, so I'm glad you were able to give us a little insight on that. Well, Senate President, I'm glad you came. Go Local Live here at the State House. We appreciate it. Look forward to talking with you in the future. and we'll have you on soon.
Congratulations on your first endeavor here. I hope you have many more.
Okay, thank you.
Kate.
Take care. Take care, President. Okay, everyone, that just about wraps up the first day at GoLocal Live at the Rhode Island State House. We appreciate your tuning in. We're going to kick it back to the Navigate Credit Union Broadcast Center at 4 o'clock for Molly O'Brien. Ray Rickman kicks off with his big view. We'll be back tomorrow in the studio, but every Thursday moving forward here at the Rhode Island State House. I'm GoLocal News Editor Kate Nagel.